When I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him? The Bible tells us to study nature in order to learn about God. As Christians, we are supposed to participate in the activity of science, and when we do, God's attributes will be revealed to us. Well, one of the attributes we see when we study nature is that the Creator of the universe cares for us. So much, in fact, that the structure of the universe is perfectly fine-tuned and has been from the beginning, so that advanced life can exist on our planet at this moment. The psalm I read at the start, Psalm 8, describes this perfectly. Astrophysicist Luke Barnes puts it this way: fine-tuning suggests that at the deepest level that physics has revealed, the universe is well put together. The whole system seems well thought out, something that someone planned and created. Through science, we can detect the incredible planning and design of the universe, which shows us how much God cares about us. The more we learn about how fine-tuned the entire universe has to be for us to exist, the more we see the love that God has for us. Science confirms what Psalm 19 tells us. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the sky above proclaims his handiwork. Day to day pours out speech, and night to night reveals knowledge. Again, the more we discover about the universe, the more we find that the laws and conditions are perfectly set up so that advanced life can exist and thrive on Earth at this moment. This is what we mean by fine-tuning, and it refers to the various features of the universe that are necessary for the existence of complex life such as us. In the last video, we saw that the initial conditions and brute facts of the universe as a whole, as well as the laws of nature, or more specifically the numerical constants present in those laws, are fine-tuned for life. This video will focus on the large structural features of the universe that are necessary for advanced life to be present. Our location in the universe, as possibly the only location that advanced life can exist, is either a massive stroke of luck or has been fine-tuned and designed specifically for life to exist on planet Earth. We reside in the Laniakea supercluster. This is a special grouping of clusters of galaxies. The universe has structure and is organized into a hierarchy of groups in a similar manner to how we geographically organize our world into cities, counties, states, and countries. Our place in the universe is organized in this manner. Earth is in our solar system, which is in the Milky Way galaxy, which is in the initial grouping of galaxies called the local group, which is in the grouping of groups of galaxies called the Virgo supercluster, which is in the largest grouping of superclusters called the Laniakea supercluster, which of course is in the universe. Initial groupings of stars are called galaxies, groupings of galaxies are called groups or clusters, and groups of clusters are called superclusters. It turns out that groupings of superclusters are also called superclusters. Astronomers haven't been very creative with these terms. The Laniakea supercluster consists of over 100,000 galaxies and 300 to 500 galaxy clusters, including our local group and the Virgo cluster, both of which are in the Virgo supercluster. The map of Laniakea looks like a feather, partly because of the scale that is being represented, but also to show that all the superclusters in Laniakea are all gravitationally connected and all attracted to the same place in the universe. What's important for life on Earth is that Laniakea is in an area of the cosmos that is less densely populated by other galaxy superclusters. In fact, the area in which we reside has such a small density that if the entirety of the universe were as devoid of galaxy superclusters as the region in the vicinity of Laniakea, advanced life would not be possible. The reason for this is that advanced life depends on 20 or so elements for its existence, elements that are only produced in stars, including in white dwarf pairs and in supernova. So life can only exist near to a location of star formation. But areas of star formation also tend to produce deadly radiation. Large concentrations of mass can also destabilize the orbits of planets and mess up the symmetry of a galaxy. So radiation and gravitational perturbations are both deadly for advanced life. The location in which advanced life can exist is a finely tuned balance between needing the material only made in stars, but at the same time needing to be in a comparatively empty space. Laniakea is unique among superclusters in that instead of the normal dense clumps of huge galaxy clusters, it is characterized by smaller clusters distributed along long arms. It is stretched out and lopsided instead of the common spheroid or elliptical shape, with galaxy groups all clustered together. So Laniakea is the smallest, least dense, and least globular of any other supercluster of which we are aware. So consequently, it has less deadly radiation and fewer gravitational disturbances. This, along with the fact that we are far from the gravitational center of Laniakea, in one of the least populated areas, permits our location to have the necessary features for life. Within Laniakea, we reside out on the far edge of the Virgo supercluster, away from the core, away from deadly sources of radiation, with none of the surrounding groups close enough to us to gravitationally disturb the structure of our location. The Virgo supercluster is also unusual, having a filament-type structure instead of a globular structure. None of the galaxy groups surrounding us contain a supergiant galaxy with a supergiant black hole that may bombard us with deadly radiation. We also happen to have a void where only a few small galaxies exist between us and the surrounding clusters. The Virgo cluster, which resides within the Virgo supercluster, is densely packed with several supergiant galaxies with supergiant black holes. Fortunately, it is far enough away for the gravitational attraction and the deadly radiation to not affect us. Messier 87, or M87, is a galaxy in the central part of the Virgo cluster. Mass is being pulled into the supermassive black hole at the center of M87 at such a rate that the intense and deadly radiation coming from it makes it so no life is possible in any of the galaxies in the Virgo cluster. We happen to be just far enough away from the radiation coming from M87 to not affect us. Supermassive black holes like the one in M87 are common throughout the universe. It is actually unusual for a galaxy like ours to be far enough away from a supermassive black hole for life to exist. Our group of galaxies within the Virgo supercluster is called the local group. Our local group sits in one of the filaments of the Virgo supercluster, well apart from other galaxy groups, in a region where it branches into 3 filaments. We are in an area of exceedingly small density, and our local group is mostly empty. This is unique when compared to other galaxy groups in the Virgo supercluster. Groups surrounding us contain more galaxies and are much larger and are more densely packed, and none are candidates for advanced life. There are no giant galaxies in our local group, only 5 large dwarf galaxies and over 100 small dwarf galaxies. The 2 other large galaxies, Andromeda and Triangulum, are very far apart and far enough away from our Milky Way galaxy as to not disturb the structure of our galaxy. The next 2 largest galaxies, the Large and Small Magellanic Clouds, are small enough to not gravitationally disturb the structure of our galaxy, but their presence is absolutely crucial for our existence. Why? For us to exist on Earth, the Milky Way galaxy must maintain its healthy symmetrical spiral arms for billions of years. To do this, it needs to receive frequent infusions of just right quantities of gas of a highly fine-tuned composition and dark matter at just the right times. The low-mass dwarf galaxies in the local group just so happen to have the perfect composition of gas and dark matter. The Large and Small Magellanic Clouds are perfectly positioned to gravitationally shepherd these small dwarf galaxies in the local group into our galaxy with the correct frequency. This is the reason that the Milky Way's symmetry has remained for the last 10 billion years, and is one of the reasons that life can exist on Earth. Now, this is not the case for the other large galaxies in our local group, Andromeda and Triangulum. They both have warp structures and are not conducive for advanced life. The black hole at the center of our galaxy is also unique. It is many times smaller than what is expected in a galaxy the size of the Milky Way. Because the black hole at the center of the Milky Way is small, Earth is bombarded with very few ultra-high energy cosmic rays, which are just fast-moving nuclei or protons. Life could not exist on Earth if the black hole at the center of the Milky Way was the expected size and emitted the expected amount of radiation. Earth's extreme low exposure to ultra-high energy cosmic rays is rare in the universe. It is probable that we are living in the only location in the universe where the exposure to ultra-high energy cosmic rays is low enough to support advanced life. Our local group is a galaxy group like no other in spaciousness, sparseness, configuration, stability, and lack of radiation. The Milky Way galaxy sits in the perfect location in the universe for advanced life to exist on Earth. But we aren't just in the perfect physical location in the universe. Our planet also exists in the perfect temporal location. Earth is present at the only time in the history of the universe that advanced life could exist. Long-term habitability on the surface of a planet requires a prerequisite minimum abundance of several elements. Animals, for example, require about 19 to 26 specific elements, and more are required, such as uranium and thorium, to make the planet itself habitable for advanced life. It takes a minimum amount of time for star formation, ongoing star burning within a galaxy, white dwarf pairs, and supernova to generate the requisite abundances of these life-critical elements. The minimum time is thought to be about 9 billion years after the beginning of the universe. There is also a maximum time. When star formation stops, the spiral structure of the Milky Way galaxy will collapse. The average separation between stars will become too small. Merger events will occur and exposure to deadly radiation will increase. The advanced life window will close in about 1 billion years from now. So our planet sits in the exact right location at the exact right time. As we learn more about our universe, it becomes increasingly clear that everything was set up and designed for advanced life to exist on Earth. Now, this, of course, doesn't prove that a cosmic creator exists, but it certainly is compelling evidence for a mind that planned and designed the universe for our benefit. Romans 1 says, "For his, God's, attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world, in the things that have been made." The Bible tells us to study nature to learn about God. And when we do, we can see God's incredible power, his ability to design and set up the entire universe for us to exist on Earth. The universe looks as if it has been set up from the very beginning for us, for you, to exist on Earth at this moment in time. And Christianity has an explanation for why the universe looks this way. Remember, I opened this video with Psalm 8. When I look at the universe, I wonder, what is man that you are mindful of him? God cares about us, and because he loves us, he provided a home for us where we can live and thrive. The fine-tuning we find at every level, at every location, and at every time in the universe demonstrates God's care for his people. God's steadfast love and his reasons for creating the universe and creating us culminated in the person of Jesus. Jesus came to earth to mend the fractured relationship between us and God. But because we constantly break God's law, we are separated from God. So God provided a way to repair this relationship through the person of Jesus. God, the creator of the universe, the designer of the universe, wants a relationship with you. And you can have that relationship through the person of Jesus. The universe is exquisitely fine-tuned for life, for us, for you to exist. God cares about you so much that he wants to have a relationship with you, and you can have that through the person of Jesus.